Welcome to the Assembly compostudio for 1K and 4K intro competitions. And wow, what competitions those were. I have here with me tonight Exka and Poro. Oo. Visu of Quadtrip with
hello.
His virtual persona. And Seven and Bergon.
Hey.
Hey. So, what did you guys like the compose? So, my mind is totally blown. How's yours?
They were a bit short, but some of the entries were really great.
Yes.
I have to definitely say the highlight for me was Seven's 1K, the Fulcrum one. That was very impressive, especially because I had the same idea kind of rolling in my mind to do like a Chris Foss spaceship intro one day. So I guess that's done now, so I'll do something else. But it was so good. I really enjoyed the final you did, and behind the scenes we had a lot of problems with it, so I was happy to see it in the compo.
Was it only me, but I think on Sevens and Ribbons intros I saw some recycling of the code. Did you see that?
Well, who doesn't recycle here? We all love environment. Seven, go ahead.
Okay, yeah, there's some delay. I was really impressed with the music of some 1K entries. I think the Fire and Ice, the one with the green globe, and of course Monospace. The voice, the usage of the voice was really good. When it started, I was a bit afraid it would be the same as last year, where one entry just recited its entire source code, but it was really well done with the pauses and yeah, not just the formulas, but it was very impressive.
Yes. Poro and Exka, what did you like about the compos?
I like the monospace really much, and I have some idea of how it was made. Okay. I think it looked like it had some CSS effects applied to this whole canvas, or it was maybe even pure CSS, because blurring either requires using of WebGL, and if that was the case, then I don't know how they could have managed to make the music so good. And the Fire and Ice was also really great.
Yeah, the Fire and Ice had very nice scan lines.
Yeah, the scan lines were amazing.
Yeah.
I think like all the 1K competition was very strong, even though we didn't have that many entries, but the quality, like, wow. You guys did really good job. And could you, Seven, tell a bit about the process of making the intro? Like this said that we had maybe some tiny problems getting it on the show.
Yeah, I developed it on my laptop, which has a fairly weak graphic cards compared to the one in the compo machine. So I have to kind of estimate how much processing power I can use. And also I used a single formula to generate all the ships and also the jump gate. But there was a problem with the smallest ships at the start. The distance function is not really a correct distance function, and you get artifacts when looking at them from certain camera angles. But the problem with these procedurally generated models is that if you change the random seed, you change all the ships. So I didn't have the time to find a new seed for all the ships and regenerate the camera paths and things like that. So I had to balance the speed and the artifacts and things like that. I'm already working on a final where I space the ships out a little bit so that I can use less race and it uses a bit less GPU power. But yeah, I started with the idea from Escape Through Subspace from, I think 4 years ago at Assembly. And I was curious with Winkler improving year after year with the extra space I have and with a better, I have my own shader minifier that also improved. So I was wondering how far I could push the spaceships ID.
Yes. Yeah.
Of course, the balance of the flip side is that the sound is extremely minimal.
Yeah.
But yeah.
I'm still kind of flabbergasted that people do actual soundtracks in 1K intros and even like 256 byte things. And it's like, wow, that's magic. I can do 4K intros, but that's magic. Like below that, it's just magic.
Thing I have to mention, I was really enjoyed this year that a lot of people try to do storytelling in 1K, which is always like I always love that. Of course, I love to do story stuff. So people not just doing an effect, but trying to do narrative in that space. It's like almost you have to do like a one scene of a story. You can't do more than that.
Yeah, and also someone in the chat said that the Monospace had there is this Fairlight demo, or is it 64K intro actually numbers? And there's some resemblance on the use of the speech synths on that. So yeah, just had to. Because I find that it had some similarities there too. But if we go to the 4K competition, I was told that we can't run 20 minutes over time, unfortunately. So we need to stick on the schedule. So let's go to the 4K competition. We had also there 5 entries. I think there the quality was also high. Like really solid 4K intros there. Trisu Best was done by Oo, who is here on the compostudio with us, and the Virgo 1302 was done by Bergon, who is also here with us. So could you please tell a bit about the intros? Let's start with Oo.
Yeah, my main power with this one was love. Yeah, I promised to make an intro this year also, and even the actual assembly party didn't happen. I get my promise, and I had so many problems, technical and time-wise, and to the last minute, I was quite sure that I can manage, but I did. So there was the intro.
Yeah, that was really nice, kind of psychedelic fractal explosion thing. I think it's kind of your trademark, isn't it?
Yeah, actually, I think I'm the only one using GNU Rocket. So I saw Viz's comment on the chat that how is it holding those fractals so long without exploding. So my secret is that I kind of manipulate everything on the fly with the rocket arrays. So that was the secret too. That's my trademark, I think.
Yeah, so you have actually embedded Rocket into your 4K tool.
Yeah, that helps a lot because of the, you can drink few beers and fine tune and tweak the parameters. It's more like, video editing or doing some art. After you have some nice starting point, of course.
Yeah, direction. It makes direction easier for 4Ks, definitely. And it's quite impressive to actually have that implemented there.
Yeah, thanks.
Yes. Do we have some comments of Berkon about his entry?
Sure, yeah. So ever since I watched like one of my favorite movies, Interstellar, I've kind of wanted to try out like how does black holes bend light, and now I had the chance to do that. And yeah, then I also last year assemblies had like great volumetric rendering in 1K and 4K, so I wanted to try that as well. So I combined the ideas and then turned it into like nice black hole with the accretion ring around it. And I thought that like, how do you amp this up so you make 2 black holes? So I did the second one. There was also a great simulation from NASA, which I tried to mimic here about 2 spinning black holes.
Yeah, it looked really cool, and a lot of people in the chat was saying the same, that it was really, really convincing looking, and always also like the volumetric rendering was really nice.
Yeah, the math behind is probably like not quite there in scientific accuracy, but I think it tries to like mimic all the effects you would see in a real black hole. Of course, we just have one picture of one, so there's not much like real life material to go by with.
Yes. Then other entries that we had were Koronalinko by Trey, was at, well, the name is in Finnish, but it's basically COVID, what's lingo in English?
Is it a sling?
Sling, COVID sling. And so someone in the chat saying that was probably the first corona COVID virus object in this party. So what did you guys think? Poronexka, you were about to say something?
Yeah, I think the whole the effect was kind of cool, but it would have been so much better if there was some kind of synchronization with the music. It was a bit lacking on that. The music and this effect didn't go well all that together all that well.
I really loved the black hole thingy because it had Doppler effect in it, properly acting Doppler. So kudos to that.
Thanks.
And then also the Hakiri Hanzo was really nice with the color scheme of black and white.
And gray.
Yeah, the contrast was really nice, and there was no like aliasing issues to be seen. So
yeah, Hakiri
looked
Hanzo
really nice.
had really outstanding soundtrack, I would say.
Yeah, that's true also.
I agree.
Yes. And yeah, it's very different from many, like if you see 4K combos nowadays on parties, there are a lot of these photorealism mimicking stuff and flybys and stuff like that. But I'm glad that actually here we have more takes on like, well, that was like doing techno thing in 4K, or like Shroud did this Shroud was this kaleidoscopic light transport thing. And then what OO did with those fractals, and also I think like Virgo was also more ambient kind of intro. So we had lots of ambience, like ambient intros here this year. Do you agree or disagree with me?
Yeah, I definitely like the very noir kind of mono colored one with just black and white, and just the track was an absolute killer, and just the direction and all the effects in that one, I really enjoyed that.
It reminded me a bit of noise demos, that the effect is not that beautiful really, but it's interesting. And yeah, the music was really, really good. I liked it.
Yeah, I definitely like the black and white. Something about black and white, it often makes things work. And yeah, it worked great here.
Yes. There were also comments on like killing the encoder on 4K competition. So
Yeah, actually, I had really bad internet connection, and because of the compression, it was really hard to see basically everything I need to see this tomorrow with a better connection and without compression. So it was really, not that happy to see all the intros with this low quality.
yes, it's always when we show combos, especially intro competitions over internet, over streams, it's always an issue. Like the encoders, decoders, adding to. Do you plan your intros so that if now that we are doing online parties, do you plan the intros you do accordingly, like that they are like optimized for the stream, or they're optimized for annoyances and definitely encoder killers? Let's start from OO and go from 7 to Berkon then.
I don't, but actually I do with the audio, with the real assembly event. I think about how much bass I put on the frequencies, and how much echo I put because of the big environment. This year I put a bit more echo because I knew that it's going to be online only, but with the graphics I didn't consider anything. As you saw, I think it was because of the fractals. I think it was like a slideshow because of the conversions, but not. I didn't consider anything.
Okay.
Yeah, I have to say I didn't really think about the encoder at all, but yeah, encoders are made for realistic scenes. So yeah, the best you can do is indeed avoid like things like particle effects or very high, small changing contrast. Like the black and white one, you saw the compression artifact, of course. But even so, I don't know if I would really optimize for the single time it's shown on the stream versus people can always run it at home. So yeah, I don't think I would take a lot of care of that.
Yes. How about Berkon? Do you optimize your intros for online showing?
Well, this was my first kind of online-only intro, and did not really think about it. I of course tested it on YouTube how the home compression would look like, but not really like optimized too much. It's pretty difficult as well because my intro had volumetrics. It caused like a lot of noise, and this noise is not great for encoding. So there wasn't, unfortunately, like too much I could do about it. That's also like intros usually, they have lots of fast and high details, and these often kill compression. So yeah, as said before, like I wouldn't like optimize too much. I think it's on the streaming platforms to improve their like platforms, so you can actually like, let's say, stream 4K or stream with high bit rates, and then you can of course like record your intros or watch it like live on like homes afterwards. So I don't think that we should worry too much about this kind of like compression or like doing our intros with compression in mind.
Yes. Do our codename Musta Leima has anything to say on this topic?
That's one of the reasons why I selected to go with Pico 8 this year, because I know I could get the triple pixel size, and it's very resistant to any kind of like compression noise. With that size, I actually took all the entries myself from 128 by 128 and upscaled them to 1K by 1K on the stream in a full HD video. So that actually turned out really good. Like I didn't see any video glitching at all in the Pico entry. So that's the way to kind of survive through the stream, I say. Go low resolution.
So if you want to kind of have clean scenes on this kind of online parties, do be quiet. Is this your message?
Yes.
Yes. How about Poro and Exka? How do you feel about these, especially like broadcasting intros?
I think it's a challenge to like break the encoder. I like to design demos so that something breaks if it's online only, because that's like free additional effect. Especially with intros, it's like how was that distortion made to the image? Twitch.
Encoder did it for me. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, and I know coders who kind of try to do effects that do kind of mind games with the people watching, that they can't tell if this is the intro or if it's the encoder that's doing that. And we had some of those in demos, especially when Assembly had first demo combo broadcasted on national TV. We had, I would say, one Epoch entry had this kind of glitch effect just to kind of trick people's mind. You can't tell if it's the broadcast or the demo. So I think we have had really, really great competitions, and we are still gonna have competitions tonight. We're gonna have some music competitions, graphics competitions, our fast competitions are coming tonight, and then the old school demo competition. How are your thoughts about the rest of the party and upcoming competitions? What are you most excited about? Let's start with Berkon.
Well, I have a lot of friends who have like tons of graphics and fast graphics entries, so I'm really looking forward to that. And so also tomorrow we have the finale, the demos, so really looking forward to those as well.
Okay. Poro and Exka, what are your highlights on the upcoming party?
Well, the old school demo is always fascinating one, and we have a demo coming up in the demo competition, so that's always something to look forward to.
Yeah, especially this year because we didn't have time to do anything else but the demo. So
Yes. Yeah, you have been usually very productive on Assembly.
yeah, but it's hard to be like productive when there's work to be done.
Yes.
Summer is easier.
7. What are you looking forward to?
Mostly the demo compo, of course. But yeah, just the rest of the party, at least the English-speaking parts. I'm really happy that assembly is still taking place. When Revision did the online thing first, I was really expecting it to be a flop, that people wouldn't submit anything. But yeah, an online party can still be a great party, and I really felt sorry that I didn't had anything to compete with, which is why I really wanted to make something for Assembly this year. But yeah, just looking forward for the rest of the party.
Oh, what's your things you look forward to?
Well, we were planning to do with NPC. I'm kind of curious that it
That was not me.
Something. No.
I think we're kind of losing the connection of OO, at least for me.
Listen to the soundtrack.
Okay. I hope our audience heard it better than me, because it kind of, the connection was kind of unstable for a bit.
May I say it again?
Yes,
Am I
please.
online again? Okay. We were planning to do a Commodore PET demo with Base Cadet under our name OOBC, and I actually don't know whether Base Cadet did something or released something to the old school demo compo. And I also played some violin cello to Adapt's demo, so I'm really want to hear the soundtrack of that demo.
Okay.
Did I say something that I was supposed to?
I don't know. Did you? Visu, final comments.
I definitely hope all the compos go without a hitch. We're working behind the scenes as always. And obviously old school demo is going to be the highlight for me, whatever is in the demo compos. I'm still going to enjoy those old platforms more, but we'll see. I'll definitely check out all of everything that's coming up.
Yes, and I suggest you, what our viewers, to check up everything that's coming up, scene-wise, and well, other program-wise too. There's lots of interesting program here, and Assembly TV, and I think it's time for us to say goodbye and continue watching combos. So, goodbye.
Cheers.
Bye.
Hey Jussi, how are you? Yeah, he's pretty quiet, so I'll just, he can stay there. All right, so some awesome combos and a great compo studio we just saw. For now, we will be switching back to Finnish for a bit, but no worries, we will continue with the combos later on.
Sinä hyödyt siitä, mitä Jims tietää. Jims.fi.
This is Jake. His data just leaked online. If Jake doesn't react, a fake Jake could ruin his life. Luckily, Jake has F-Secure ID protection, which helps him prevent identity theft.